Hello. Okay, hopefully this works. Okay, so, whoa, what is going on? Hello, everybody, by the way. Let's do this. Welcome to Feedback Friday. Oh, I forgot the lights. Oh my goodness, noob. Actual noob. Hello everybody, hello. Welcome to Feedback Friday. Oh no friendo, Chilori, Pampuri, Matimlol. How can I submit the art on the Discord? So here's how it works. For those of you that are just joining, you submit your work on the Discord channel under the feedback section. We have a feedback section. You pop it there. I'll show you actually. Let's just do that. See this? See this? Very nice. Zai, what up? How you doing today? You submit it here, basically. Make a post, tag it as Feedback Friday if you want. It doesn't really matter because we've changed the system. And how this is going to work is if you'd like to be added to the wheel. Were we going to do wheels? I don't know. I can't remember. We have been doing the wheel recently where basically you get added to a wheel and you get selected. But it's not super fair for people that need feedback. Who knows? We'll figure it out, I'm sure. We'll figure out something at some point. I haven't really thought about it. Last time my computer switched off. By the way, last time my computer like switched off, and it might do the same today. So we're only going to do a short one, probably like an hour long, 45 minutes, up until 7 o'clock. So we've got about 40 minutes, okay? So let's just jump in. Who would like to be in the wheel? Please. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Speak now. Speak now. Speak now. How's everyone doing anyway? What's everyone been up to? Anything nice? You might have something for next Feedback Friday. Let's go. That would be sick. What up, Pudnik? How are you doing today? Just critique your fan art. Yeah, the fan art was sick. I'd like to be in. We'll post in Discord. No worries, Chilori. Chilori, boom, you're on. Yeah, the fan art was cool. We'll check that out anyway. Look at this. Look at this. Badass. That part was my favorite part. This is like handsome soul. Handsome soul. Although you got the facial hair right. Nice. Good job. The glasses. I like it. Incredible. What up, Toast? How you doing today? Alright, Chilori, since you're the only one. Chilori, post your work. Let's have a look. And if no one else submits, we'll just go through them. First come, first served. We'll do that. We'll do first come, first served, and then maybe a wheel. How about that? So first we got Chilori. Mason, we'll do you next. Make sure you post it in the Discord and tag me in it as well. Tag me in it and I'll just jump straight to it. You got work too? No worries, Toast. Hope your work goes well. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, let's do this. Cross-stitch sampler. Name censored for privacy. Check this out. Boom. Just like that. It's a little bit blurry. Just because of the size, maybe we can just, I don't know what we can do. I don't know how we can resolve. Paint. Paint is always the way. Look at that. Beautiful work, Chilori. Oh, there's something I'd like to check actually. No, you got it. We're good. How many pixels? 1, 2, 3. Hold on. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Here we go. Is it going to be 11 pixels? Is it not? Put your bets in the chat. Put your bets in the chat, folks. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 pixels. Oh my goodness. It is infuriating. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. 2 pixels center this thing. I see what you mean. This thing, because this is off slightly by 1. No problem, Chilori. It happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of us. It's actually not noticeable. I mean, I noticed it immediately, but that's just because I'm an actual genius. So don't worry about it. It looks beautiful overall. Looks beautiful overall. Love the shapes, the silhouettes that you got going on. The colors are nice. 70th birthday card, it looks like. This is very nice. L S A U L T O O N S. What up, Blizzard? How you doing? Nice artwork. Yeah, it's really cool. I like that. I like the little details in the buildings. It's very nice. Is this a card that you made? Looks sick. I don't know what feedback you're really looking for. What is it? What was the goal? What was the goal? Well, I like it. I'd probably do that. I'd probably do that just because that's the S I prefer. But oh, oh, this is a fun game. You've obviously got the style going on here, but this is a fun game. Oh, I don't like that actually. Don't do it with the F or the G. Oh, I miss pixel art actually. It's been a while since I've done any pixel art. I like the flat colors. Yeah, me too. You know what it's missing actually? This is missing the one huge thing that all of these pieces need. And I can't believe you of all people, Chilori, have missed this out. Beautiful. Pixel art's so fun, isn't it? What up, Drillmont? How you doing today? You Drillmont? Well, hello, hello. The buildings will have backstitch details too, but can't do that in ASPAR. I think it's going to look so sick stitched, because you can obviously get the texture from the stitches as well. I think that's going to look so good, and I think the flat colors will work really well for that. It's a sampler. I like it. I like it. Thanks for sharing, Chilori. I can't wait to see the I can't wait to see the finished piece, the finished cross stitch. Make sure you share it with us. Is there a wheel yet? There is a wheel, but the first like 5 people. If you'd like your work to be viewed, just say, and I will add you to the wheel. Not even a wheel. We'll just look at it. We got Matem next, who is Drillmont. Make sure you tag me. What up, Kimonek? How are you doing today? Thistle, oak leaf, and maple leaf representing me and my siblings. That's nice. You got siblings like around the world? View mine, please. Vindictive Toast. You are 3rd in the list now. Anyone else would like to be added to the list? This is how it's gonna work. Okay, this is how it's working. It's today. We haven't got long today, so we're doing it like this. Where basically, me, Pampuri, I will add you in. You are 4th now on the list. So first come, first serve to start with. And if we get too many people asking, then we'll start the wheel. So we'll do first come, first serve for the first like 5 people, I guess. You have no new art for now, that's fine. You don't have to get feedback. And then we'll just do the wheel or something like that. Boom, boom, boom. So next up, we got Matem lol. So make sure you tag me in the piece. Make sure it's on the feedback and ready to go, folks. Otherwise, you will be causing a delay. Any feedbacks or any bugs? Is it fun? Drillmont, let's find out. Oh, we got a game. Let's go. This project was made in 3 days in Scratch. Sweet. Does it have copyright-free music? If it does have music. If it doesn't have music, then it doesn't have music. That's fair. I'm gonna listen to music, but you can't hear it. We don't do music unless I know for a fact it is copyright-free. Right, we're just going to play it. Here we go, folks. Robbie Smokes, thanks for the follow. Infinity Stitch game made in 3 days. You need to kill enemies by clicking the button. Normal attack, super attack. Oh, this is like Pixel Pirate. Die. Easy win. Easy win, I'm so good. Can we just spam it? We can't spam it. It would be nice to know like what the cooldown is. Do you know what I mean? It would be nice to see. Because it would be nice to see if there was a cooldown. I've got a special attack. I'm going to use it on this guy. Oh my goodness. Special attack just absolutely obliterates everything on screen. Is that going to kill me? Uh-oh. No, it doesn't kill me. That's fine. It's going to bounce back though. Oh my goodness. Special attack is actually insane. It's actually OP. I don't have to do anything. Oh, they're gone. Yeah, it'd be nice to know what the cooldown is so that I could learn the timing a bit more of the attack. Sometimes it's not registering. Does it register on click or on release? Okay, weird. Weird. I can't really tell. Yeah, I'm not sure what the best tactic is, so I'm just going to spam it. Because I can't, because the animation and the attack aren't really aligned. Because they, oh, I've got, do I get full HP from that as well? Yeah, I think really the timing of the attack is, it's not quite clear what's going on. When in doubt, spam. Yeah, it's not really clear if when the attack hits, like, does it register on my click? It feels a little bit unresponsive in that sense. Multiplayer points. I have multiplayer. What do you mean multiplayer? And also like the range of the attack. It's difficult to tell. This is a problem we had in Pixel Pirate as well. Is when do you start attacking? I guess I would base it off of like the swing, because that was too far away. And again, just do the special attack. Special attack is OP. Special attack is OP. But it does, I think, I do like the design of the special attack because it gives you quite a nice break. Cool game. It is a cool game, Robbie. Although I think it needs more variety. Because I imagine it's just, yeah, it's just the same boss or the same character, the same enemy over and over. So some variety would be nice. Maybe, I don't know how you could change it up. This is, like, if you play Pixel Pirate, multiple enemies will make it more fun. I'll show you Pixel Pirate. You know, where is Pixel Pirate? Hold on. Hide screen. I'll show you Pixel Pirate. You don't like fighting the same thing over and over, yeah. So this is Pixel Pirate, a similar type game. The attack isn't instant, but there isn't a startup frame. So Pixel Pirate's a similar type game that I made with my friend, and there's 2 buttons. In each of the buttons, as you can see, the enemy has, it lights up when you can attack. So it's showing when the range is, and it shows you which button to press. You know what I mean? And they have, the variety comes from different enemy types. So these are things you can think about with your game. Obviously, the only difference is visually you're running, right? So you can think about different enemy types. You can think about different responses, things like that, and that's gonna add some variety to the game and make it feel like you want to get further. Some sort of actual like visual progression would be nice as well, to feel like you're. This is one problem we had in Pixel Pirate. Like once I forgot how to beat that guy. There we go. It didn't pop up bugs. Not Zombie Zoidberg, yeah. But basically, some sort of visual progress is nice as well. There isn't any in this game, but visual progress and just game progress is something you can do to oh my god, I'm too invested in the game. I can't speak. Yeah. So that's what I would say. Is some variety would be nice. So maybe enemy types or something, like something with variety. Maybe because you have that special attack, maybe you can like customize attacks. I don't know. That's up to you, you know. But enemy types would be kind of cool, or maybe like attack types or something. Or maybe you have multiple attacks since you're just clicking for the attack. Maybe you have multiple attacks and certain attacks do well on certain enemies. Do you know what I mean? Like that would be kind of cool. You run out of time? No worries. In 3 days, that's huge, you know? That's really cool. You made that in 3 days. That's nuts. Let's keep that in mind. I did forget that when I was giving you the feedback, but I'm just thinking in general, okay? But in 3 days, that's really, really good. What was I saying? Yeah, so the input, I think, is like the biggest thing that needs some help, where basically the time between clicking and actually attacking, it would be nice to, it would need some like quality of life, basically. Need some quality of life where we know the animation and everything is lining up so that it feels responsive. And finally, What was I going to say? The input, the variety. That's basically it. I think just the animations and stuff. That's basically it. But overall, it's pretty cool. Nice style. Did you draw everything as well? It's very nice. And the music was pretty good too. You couldn't hear it because copyright. I don't listen to game music because of copyright. But yes, it's good. Very nice. Very nice, Mason Law. That's very cool. I didn't find any bugs. I like the special attack. OP. I like that. Hexagon Games, what up? Very nice. Keep it up. Keep making more games. I'd like to see you produce, make more on that. Or if you're making, are you making another game now? Or are you going to keep working on that? The baddies just vanish when they're killed. A couple frames of them dying, or at least being a silhouette to indicate they've been killed, would help readability. That's a good point. Yeah, Chilori. It's just it's like juice, right? It's like juice at that point. It's like things which help the player understand what's going on. You know, it's really difficult. Like those are the things that people don't really see in game dev. Is like, okay, we've got this character, and the character essentially is here, right? Let's just imagine they're static. It's the same thing with Pixel Pirate. Like things that the player needs to know is when is the player attacking, right? So like the sword, the animation, everything needs to line up, and also where can the player hit, like what range, because that way, like if you hit and the enemy's here, let's say the enemy's like stood here. Let's do evil eyes. If the enemy's like stood here and you hit and you're not sure, like that's going to be quite frustrating. So knowing where the attack range is, that could be indicated by the sword swipe or anything, or just something on screen, or maybe the enemies themselves. Like in Pixel Pirate, we opted to go with the symbol just because we needed to show what the enemy's actual input was and when you could attack them. So timing, timing, responsiveness, that's a big thing with that game. It's a big thing. But 3 days, you did really, really well. You did really, really well. So you should be proud. You should be proud. Okay, next up, we got Vindictive Toast. Tag me in your post. If you haven't already, then that is your problem. Here we go. Stone and Shield. Made some art for a game concept I had. Something more focused on parrying to deal damage rather than attacking outright. Very bullet hell RPG coded. Okay, you added me. Sweet. Traditionally, you make enemy hitbox smaller and hitbox larger, that it looks like the player doesn't. Then it looks so the player don't feel frustrated, feeling like not hitting when it should. Ah, interesting. So what you're saying there is you have a player and you have an enemy. This is the player. And the hurt box of the sword is bigger, let's say, than the sword. And the hitbox of the enemy is smaller. That's cool. Lying to the player is our job. Yes, it is. 100%. So many lies in Faceplant. So many lies. Okay, let's check out this next thing. So this looks sick from first impressions. Whoa, it's massive. It's just massive here. That's what she said. Okay. Stone, level 10, magic, food, run. So it says, made some art for a game concept. It had something more focused on parrying to deal damage rather than attacking outright. Very bullet hell RPG coded. That's a cool idea, Firstly, I really like that idea. Obviously, 1-bit style is dope. Like, 1-bit style is just really, really nice anyway. But that idea of a bullet hell where you can't attack but you can only parry to hit, I like that. That's a cool idea. And I think that is sort of a unique point. That's like a unique selling point for your game, which is obviously, as we all know from marketing and stuff, very important if your game wants to stand out in the bullet hell of bullet hells. You know what I'm saying? Bullet hell of bullet hells. But the idea where you can only attack by parrying, I don't think I've seen that, but I am also not an expert on bullet hells. The first thing I would say, design-wise, I really like it. I really like the style that you've got going on. It's really cool. Pixel art, 1-bit, big fan. One thing that does kind of pop out to me, though, is if it's a bullet hell, you need to be careful. Obviously, this is just a concept mock-up, but one thing to keep in mind when it actually comes to production is the actual screen space size. Because the projectiles, the character, they're very small. You obviously need the room to move around. That's only something you'd get from actually making the game, though, and testing it out yourself, I think. Like whether your art is too big or too small. But I like how the enemy is sort of, like this enemy, I assume, is outside of the frame while the gameplay is inside of this frame. That's kind of sick. I like that. I think it looks cool. I don't really know. I'm not sure about all these buttons and what they do. I guess you can like buy things and you can continue on. Stone and magic. I'm not sure exactly what that is either, but you know, that would be something you'd explore through the game, right? But I think it looks cool. I'd like to see this as an actual game. You just joined. Can you add me to the wheel? No wheel. You will just be seen next, East Penguin. We got Vindictive Toast, which is this piece right now. We got Pampuri, then we got East Penguin. If anyone else would like to see their work, get feedback on their work, just let me know. It's first come, first served today. My main question is about UI readability. It's definitely readable. Yeah, it's readable. I mean, it stands out. Stone, Food, Magic, Run. UI and UX and all that stuff. Is this a regular thing? Every Friday I try to do it. I didn't do it last Friday because my computer's been broken and I've been out. And my computer might also explode today. So if my computer explodes, by the way, and the stream just ends, I'm going to have to end it because my computer's blown up recently. And not in a good way. And I need to fix it and I just haven't had the time. Yes, I think it's readable. I think you should always think about like what the most important things are. So to me, from your UI, because these are so big, these are like top of your priority list, right? These are top of your priority list is how it comes. Next up, it's these things. These things are in your priority list second, so that's first, second, and then these are like third and fourth. I'll add them together. Third and fourth, basically. So, Faceplant getting that advanced? No. I haven't worked on Faceplant in like a week. Thanks for the info. No worries at all. So, yeah. So, I'd think about it. You know, like, what is the important information? What does the player need to keep track of the most? I guess the positioning also helps. Like, this being directly under the screen is useful because if you're tracking your character, your eyes don't have to move as much distance to check out your health points. So, that's good. If these things being on the side, they're kind of secondary information, right? Primary information, secondary information up the sides. But out of your secondary information, notice how these things are taking up the priority, taking up the majority of the space. So those are things to think about. And that really depends. I can't tell you whether that's the flow that you want. I haven't played the game. I'd only be able to give feedback on that from actually playing the game. You know what I mean? But readable, yes. And very nice. Keep it up. I'd like to see more. Okay, who is next? Boom. Pampuri. Make sure you post me. Tag me. Let's go. My first portrait. Is that right? Let's check it out. Let's check it out. Boom. Nice big portrait here. Okay. Okay, here we go. It is cute. Yeah, firstly I'd say this is very nice. Animal Crossing, Harvest Moon vibes. Yes, definitely. It is pretty. It's very cool. First impressions are this is nice. That's what I get. I get this is nice. This is cute style. Very like local colors, which is cool. And you sense something feels off. I think one thing that stands out to me is simply the form, right? And I mean this. So, hold on, I can take my ring off. The form in terms of this. So, if you notice this character's head, yeah, if we were to draw like a box around the head is very three-dimensional. There's a lot of form going on in the head. You also have the same thing with the hair, right? You've done a really, really good job of showing form with the head and the hair. That's really good. But when it comes down to the body just seems a little flat. And I think it's to do with maybe the drawing, maybe the lighting as well. So, for example, if I was going to add on to this head, this would be a cylinder, right? And then I'd have another box in the same perspective. So I think what you're missing here is perspective. You know, the perspective continuing from the head to the box. Do you make vector art? No, not really. But I do like it. Body seems almost straight on towards the camera, whereas the head is clearly looking 45 degrees. Yes, exactly. So I think you're missing the perspective here. You're missing the perspective here from the body. Like you'd have do like this, right? Do something like this anyway. I'm doing this roughly without a grid, but ideally you draw a grid, right? This arm would be somewhere behind there. The dungarees would be like that. It's because the dungarees are like straight on. The Chilori was spot on with that, you know. You like vector more? Vector's cool. It's cool. So that's what I would say there. In terms of lighting, let's have a look. So it seems like you've got kind of a top-down frontal lighting going on, which works, I think. It does work. It's really hard to build lighting like this with such a complex character. Like, it seems simple, right? These things seem simple, but actually they're not. Cartoony styles are really, really difficult. So let me just try and build up the form here. This might take all day. But you get the idea. I think you already get the idea. Building up the same. The hair on the right seems too far forward. You mean this hair? Yes, I guess if you're drawing hair on top, I'd imagine this like a box as well to simplify. And that's the thing with everything, right? Just think of everything like a box and you're good. The hair would be more backwards there, yeah. So you might see a little bit, but probably not a lot. Whereas it's flicking more forward to the right, so it's probably like there. Perspective. Whenever you're drawing a character or anything like that, and you're aiming to put it in perspective, perspective grids. It's going to be your biggest help. Like, you've done a really good job. It's just small things here, fundamentals, you know. The ear shape, yeah, the ear shape's a little strange just from afar. I don't know. Depends on the character. Some people do got these types of ears shaped like that, you know. But kind of strange that this kind of goes like that. I know what you're going for because ears look like that, right? But maybe a more gradual transition will help it look less sharp almost. You know what I mean? Maybe more gradual transition there. And don't forget the shadow. Vector is more used in mobile games. What's the character's name? Ladybug? That would be a cute name. What is the character's name? I'm curious now. You made Vector for 3 years. Nice. Vector is just a nice style, you know. You can use whatever style you want. But yeah, establishing some sort of perspective grid, following the perspective grid, that's going to help you when drawing characters. You know what I'm saying? Could we see some of your artwork? Sure. I'm not like a pro or anything. I feel like I'm learning every day. I make like cartoons. I do drawings, pixel art, random shit. Mostly cartoons. Oh, did you see this one? Oh my god, this was actually infuriating. Did you see this one? Being Puppy Cat? No, I haven't. Check this out. Oh my goodness.
What the
I ruined it. At the last stage. That was actually the last line that I was going to draw. That was the last line that I was going to draw on that thing. But yeah. It's been a while since I've done pixel art, actually. I might do some more pixel art soon. I know. Rough. But very nice portrait. Very nice portrait. Please continue making art. Small things. Perspective. Keep going. You've got a very, very nice style. Very nice style. I'd like to see more. Okay, Pam? Keep going. Chat disconnected. Uh-oh. Please don't break computer. Oh, we're good. Connected again. There is no Control Z. No, not with traditional art there isn't. But I will try and fix it. I'm going to try and fix it with paint. Okay, next up, who we got? East Penguin, share your work, please. Tag me. Let's go. Bean Puppy Cat has incredible... I might have seen it. Bean and Puppy Cat. I might have seen it. No, I haven't seen it. I've seen like an image of it, but I've not seen it. You know what I mean? It looks like Steven Universe type stuff. Tag me in your work. Let's go. Let's go, East Penguin. I'm ready. East Penguin, I am ready. I'm ready, ready, I'm ready, ready, I'm ready, ready, I'm ready, ready. You're here. Tag me in the work in Discord, my friend. Make sure it's all ready. While we're waiting for East Penguin to upload their work, does anybody else want me to check out their work today? How's the Discord server been? No, not really any new updates. I've just been busy. I've just been busy with work, real work, in real life work. I want to say yes, but I'm nervous. Just say yes, it's fine. You don't have to be nervous. Getting feedback and asking for feedback is a skill. The more you do it, the better. East Penguin, is it the arcade, by the way? Is that what we're going to look at here? Is it this? I've just seen it. My second attempt at an arcade using the Chasm palette of lowspec.com. Let's check it out. My art is barely considered beginner. So what? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter whether you're a beginner or you've been making art for 50 years. Feedback and sharing your stuff is a great way to learn. In fact, it's probably, I think, the fastest way to learn, because it's really hard. So I've spoke about this before, but when you're making art, yeah, there's a graph of like skill versus knowledge, okay? And I'm sure I mentioned this absolutely every feedback stream. But let's say green is your skill and red is your knowledge. And this is until you die, by the way. This isn't it's when you're a beginner, it's when you're pro, it's all of the time. Your skill level and your knowledge level will fluctuate, okay? And you'll never know everything. There's always going to be something that you don't know, you know? Do you mention it? You do mention it. I do mention every feedback stream. I know that. And you know that because you're in every feedback stream. Hype in the chat for being in every single feedback stream. Let's go. Only the pros know. Yeah. And there's going to be a gap. So when your knowledge is high, but your skill doesn't match your knowledge, it's going to be frustrating because you know what you want to produce, but you can't do it because you haven't got the skill yet. So the piece is going to be difficult. And if your knowledge is low and your skill is high, you're having a great time making art, but it might be frustrating because, why? Because you don't know what you need to do to improve. Like something looks wrong. You know, that might be the result that you have where it's like something looks wrong, but I just don't know what it is. And in all times, feedback helps. The only time it feels really comfortable to make art is during this crossroads where your skill and your knowledge meet, but that doesn't last very long. Which is why you should do a combination of learning and making. Learning and making. Do you accept unfinished pieces? Sure. Okay, East Penguin, let's check this out. This is Arcade 2.0. Some people say vector art is easier than pixel art. What do you think? All art is, I was going to say difficult, but it's not really, because it depends, right? This like, I don't really like comparing. That's what I'll say. Comparing mediums. I don't think it makes much sense to comparing mediums. Let's talk about this briefly. I think each medium has, because one, why don't I like comparing mediums? One, because art has some universal rules. Not rules, but like art has some universal knowledge in the sense that like it doesn't matter which medium you're using, whether you're painting, sculpting, doing vector art, doing digital art, doing pixel art. There's a lot of overlap, basically. Color theory, line, perspective. There's a lot of overlap between those. If you suck at perspective in digital art, you're going to suck at perspective in traditional art. You're going to suck at perspective in pixel art. You're just going to suck at perspective overall. One of the mediums might be easier to focus on perspective, for example, with colors, right? It is kind of easier to focus on colors with pixel art because palette workflows are very heavily used in pixel art, in the pixel art world. You can use palette with digital, but it's less common. It's similarly with traditional. I'd say color is probably the hardest because you have to mix your own colors as well. You don't just have to make colors and understand colors, but you have to mix them and use them at the same time if you're painting. So art has universal knowledge. And two, each of the mediums have their own, each medium has their own, skill gap, skill knowledge, right? Like skill ceiling, I guess. Each medium has their own skill ceiling. Like digital art, for example. I think that the skill ceiling on digital art is much higher than pixel art from my experience. I feel like you can pick up pixel art much, much faster than you can digital art. And that's to do with a couple of things. Not just the dexterity required for digital art, but probably the more, if you're not doing a palette-based approach, there's more that you can choose from. And the more choices that you have, I think, the harder it is. Whereas pixel art is kind of made for traditional pixel art anyway, the smaller type pixel art. You can obviously there's obviously a spectrum. I don't think it's digital versus pixel. I think pixel is a spectrum which goes into digital kind of thing. If you get what I mean, you know what I mean? I think you get what I mean. There's no such thing as this versus this versus this. You could do vector pixel art and you could do vector plus pixel art. You could do vector plus digital. You can do anything you want. So I don't think it really helps to compare mediums. I think they have their own challenges. I would probably say, is vector art easier than pixel art? Depends what you're doing. Are you just drawing on top of a sketch? I don't know. Traditional pixel art, yeah. Traditional pixel art is hard. Traditional pixel art is harder than vector art, I think, yeah, because there are rules that you have to follow with traditional pixel art. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's talk about some pixel art. They're rules you have to follow. Painting's the hardest of them all. Very nice. First impressions, love the colors, love the overall vibe that's going on here. This is very, very nice. This is very cool. I love how you've got a bunch of detail in the building. The background seems a little bit empty. I would like maybe some more. This is just a personal preference because I'm interested in this world, because of the arcade that you got going on here, and the birds especially are really cool. I think they're crows or something, right? But it would be nice to see more of the surrounding areas as well. This feels quite empty. Sorry, I was making a sort of joke. By traditional, I meant physical, like paints or inks. Yeah, traditional pixel art. That's actually really hard as well. Have you ever tried it? That's really hard. It's like doing pixel art on crack because it's so hard because you have to Cure. I show this. I'm pretty sure I show this in every single feedback stream as well. Cure Pixel Art did a piece which was traditional pixel art. And it's kind of how I did my mosaic piece. I saw the first version of this in the feedback channel. They integrated the feedback pretty well. Oh, did they? That's good. That's always good to hear when people take feedback on board well. Anyway, 1 second. Let me search for this piece. So this piece is what I would consider traditional pixel art. And this is what I mean by art as a spectrum. They're styles are a spectrum. Check this out. This piece, individual pixels painted, and you get another dimension of texture in that. And obviously you're mixing the colors, so they're not exactly the same. So this is why you don't, when you stop thinking so linearly about art, you can produce things like this. And actually recently, this is to me when you've ascended as an artist, because Yes, you can follow the rules, and there's nothing wrong with that, and you're still an artist. Don't get me wrong, but when you're like pushing the boundaries of mediums and you're on the fringe levels of art, like that is because you're thinking like outside of the box. You know what I mean? You're thinking outside of the box with everything, and that is very impressive. Like look at this painting, for example. It's using squares, which is essentially like pixel art, with different colors but still producing an overall piece. So it's a pixel painting experiment. And I thought of something recently. This happened to me recently, right? Where I drew something and I went, holy shit. I've never seen anything. I've never seen this done before. And I'll share it with you when it's finished. And it's only simple. It's very simple, but it's an experiment. It's an experiment with styles that I've never seen before. And that got me really excited. So I'll share that with you one day. Probably next week. But yeah, to me, that's why you should think about not art as in like pixel art, vector art. You know, I think that's very beginner, very, very like learning the basics. But once you realize these are the same thing, they're just at a different point they're just at a different point on the spectrum of things that you can do with art. Anyway, let's talk about this. Yeah, love the colors. You obviously use that palette, which is nice. I would like to see, like I said, a little bit more detail, but I guess it just depends on the piece. If you're just trying to get across an arcade, then this works, right? I love the little details of the broken down Soul writes like a doctor. Yeah, terribly. The broken down arcade cabinet here next to the trash. It's very cool, but I feel like this side's very empty because you have something like compositionally. Because you have something here compositionally, this quite feels empty, and because there's a lot going on here, this feels quite empty. And I'm not saying everything needs to be busy, but some sort of indication of something going on I think could help balance it out a little bit. The other thing that I want to say is tangents. You kind of have a tangent going on here, not really, but because these two things line up, they kind of look like they're on the same line. You know what I'm saying? So what you can do to help that, literally just moving it down 1 pixel or up 1 pixel, you choose. Let's just do something like that. Let's do that. So it's on there. Boom. If you do something like that, notice how it gives overlapping even more. It gives a sense of overlapping even more, even though it's just 1 pixel. You know what I mean? So be careful with overlapping things like that. If you have some tangents where things follow on, you can get a greater sense of depth just by shifting these things. Shifting them so they're not on the same plane, basically. This style is obviously very reminiscent of Brandon James Gray's work, because Brandon does a lot of this, or has done a lot of this in the past. His earlier work was, he did a bunch of this actually. If you look at his store, he's got so many pages of like these types of sort of isometric views. Let's have a look at some of Brandon's work so we can look at inspiration. What up, Mr. Majors? How are you doing today? But let's have a look. Let's get inspiration from Brandon. This is a great thing to do. So this is cool because notice how it kind of goes against what I said before, where there isn't as much detail in the background, but it's balanced well still. There isn't too much negative space down the bottom. There isn't too much negative space down the top. In fact, because it's the sky, it's better to have more negative space up the top because it feels like it's grounded. To me anyway. And then obviously you've got a bunch of detail which is consistent throughout, and the details aren't what was I saying before? The details aren't, what's that word? Tangent. There's no tangents really, you know. It's going to be difficult to find a tangent here. And Brandon's work, especially these pieces, are very, very good at that. Brandon's got a great attention to detail when it comes to those things. Dude, I don't have the patience really. But notice again, with these types of works, it's balanced. You know, everything's very balanced. You got equal space on top, left, and right. You've got, even though you've got an element sticking out here, it works. It works because you have sufficient detail over on the right-hand side as well, and that's balancing the whole thing out. Whereas the front side here is kind of basic, and not basic in a bad sense, but notice how much information is actually going on, even though it's still less detailed. Texture, things like that. So those things to keep in mind. I see that you've got a bunch of texture going on in your piece. You got a bunch of texture going on in your piece. You got a bunch of things going on. Maybe I'd add something here. What could we add here? Maybe you could have shady customers or something. You know, maybe you could have a shady customer. Someone sitting down here with his head in his hands because he's spent all of his money at the arcade and his mom only gave him £2 to go to the arcade and he spent the £2 on Time Crisis 2 but didn't get very far, something like that. I don't know. But yeah, maybe that's what I would do. I would probably push this down a little bit, get rid of some of the floor, add some sky in. Dude, can we control V that? There we go. Just so we've got a before and after. Should I at you in the feedback post? Yes, please do. And now notice how just shifting it down. We'll put the sun back in. Apologies for the messiness. You can obviously do this better than I can. I'll just do like that, and I'll do that, and I'll do this, 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 and I'll do this. There you go. Notice how just shifting it down a bit, it feels like it's got a lot more room to breathe. You know what I'm saying? It's got a lot more room to breathe. It feels claustrophobic because the floor is this massive silhouette, like crushing it. That could work if you're adding in, I don't know, little floor elements, so like road elements or something like that, or I don't know. That could work if you have more things going on. Maybe there's some cars here. I don't know what's going on down here. You know what I'm saying? But that could work like that. But because it's just separated by this big block of purple down here, I think it works better to show more sky. You can even add in one more, if the palette allows for it, you could add in one more level of brightness or lightness up top here, perhaps. You could even dither it if you want. Why not? Let's try it. Let's try adding in one more level and just seeing if that balances it out a tiny bit. Can you select in this? I don't think you can, right? No. Okay, I'm just gonna have to do this. Something like that. That might help. And then you could like dither or draw lines between the sections to show more detail or whatever. It really depends. And just by adding a couple lines, notice how it feels a little bit more full. And full in the sense of not squashed, you know, not squashed, not claustrophobic, because you're so close to the top of the frame here. But overall, very, very nice. Great attention to detail. Watch out for your tangents. Balance, composition. That's what you got to focus on there, and you're good. Almost balding for 3 years. 4th page hype in the chat, everybody. How are you doing, 4P? Hello, hello, hello. You've been so worn out today. What have you been doing, shall I? Okay, folks, we've got a couple more. Let's do a couple more, then we'll leave it. So that's East Penguin. We've got Robbie Smokes. Please, baby has been active. Cute, though. Cute, cute, cute. That's really cool to see the change in feeling just by moving it down. Yeah, composition is huge. Composition is huge, huge, huge. If you're ever struggling with composition, thumbnails are the way to go. Like, thumbnails are the way to go. Sketch something out. Like, look, how does the house look like this? Check out my concept art tutorial for this. But what happens if I put the house to the side? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can get different feelings from loads of different compositions. What if you do this when the house is there now? You get different feelings from all of these different frame sizes. So don't just pick, like a lot of people will probably, when you first start making art, you'll probably just make a frame, right? And then you'll just start making the art inside of it, right? And you'll probably not consider too much how it sits within the frame. But literally just thinking for 5-10 minutes where you're going to place things, how should the frame actually be square? Like, don't pay attention to like, oh, it needs to be on Instagram, so it has to be a square. You know, try and find the best composition for your piece. Now, that is a good challenge, though. That is a good challenge to go, oh, well, I'm only going to make artwork within a square, within this size. But then use that size and think about it a little bit before you start making the art, you know? Take that size and go, okay, well, what can I do? I'm going to draw a house. What if I draw the house up here? What does it look like? You know, this is and this isn't necessarily a bad composition. It just gives a different feeling to whether you have a composition which is like that. You know what I'm saying? Different feelings, different things that you'd balance, different things that you'd focus on. So keep that in mind. Compositions. They're about 1 kilogram right now and viable if they want to pop out early. But I'd rather, 3 more months. Stay there. We need a ready to go pixel artist. Ready to go pixel artist. Just in time for September. Just in time for September. Okay, folks, let's jump on to the next one. Robbie Smokes, let's go. Little Stoner Sunflower, let's go. Here we go. Boom. Very cool. You see, you said you're a beginner, but I see a lot of things here which are very promising. I see a lot of things here which are super promising. Firstly, what background is this on? A dark background. You've kind of added an outline. You've added an outline on a dark background. That's fine. That's cool. But there's some. What's the Discord server name? Just SoulTunes. Yeah, I think you can type in !Discord and you'll get that up. Oh, it should work if the bot's not dead. But there's some things here which are very promising. And you say you're a beginner. Number one. Let's take it out. Silhouette. Silhouette. Oh my god, it's going to take all day for me to do this. But basically the silhouette, the overall shape, the overall design of this character, that doesn't read beginner to me. You've considered that. You've considered it seems. Maybe you didn't think about it, but it seems considered. You know what I'm saying? Like, each of the elements of the character are separated in a way that would make it distinguishable if it was just black and white. You know what I mean? What do I mean? I'll tell you what I mean. The sunflower's head with the texture in the leaves, the actual leaves from the stem all being separated, and the cigarette pointing out the side with the smoke on its individual thing. That is a silhouette. It's strong. That's a strong silhouette. Face feels more like a diamond than a circle. Yeah, it does feel a little diamond-like. Maybe that's just the shape that you're going for. Like, maybe you could round that out a little bit more. It is hard to do circles. It really depends what you're going for. I don't necessarily mind the shape of the face. I think it's really cool. If you want it to be more rounded, though, you could try a more rounded shape. But I don't really mind that. I don't really mind the shape of the face. It actually makes it look quite unique, I think. But it depends what you're going for. There's a Minecraft circle tool that's useful for pixel circles. Interesting. But I don't mind that. I think it's quite cool. I think it's quite a cool shape. The eyes obviously looks high because you've done red eyes. The colors are quite nice. Did you use a palette for this? In your shading, you're showing an idea of directional lighting. You're showing an idea of directional lighting. Why? Because you have a lit top and the shaded bottom. If you want to take that even further, you can think about cast shadows. Think about cast shadows and like underneath the sunflower, you know what I mean? But you don't really need that because guess what? It works really well for the graphic style. It works really well for the graphic style. It's nice and simple and it works, you know? You don't have to overcomplicate things. I'll probably finish off the top of this head. It just depends on the pixels that you got left over, you know what I mean? Just to match the 2 pixels going all the way around it. How could you improve this? It just depends on your goal. I think if your goal was to make a sunflower character, I think you've done well. And I think you've achieved your goal. If you wanted it to be more rounded, then obviously you could listen to what Chalori said and try changing the pixel shape, which is very hard to do in a small size. But there are tools that can help with that. There are tools. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I don't know why I've got that song in my head. Sunflower. See, there's nothing wrong with this. Just having fun. I love that you hit the Wii music when I'm thinking. Yeah, it's just brain power. Comfy vibes. I like it. I like the sunflower. Keep making artwork. That's what you need to do, Robbie. You need to keep making artwork like this. And if you're a beginner and you want to improve, like you want to learn more about fundamentals and things like that, it can help to think about one thing to focus on per piece, whether that's lines, whether that's silhouette, whether that's proportions, whether that's color, anatomy, whatever it is. Pick one thing and just try and improve that. Just try and focus on that for one piece and then just keep making things. You don't have to do it for every piece. It helps to just have fun as well. But yeah, keep making art. I like it. I like it a lot. Who's next? Look at art, think about art, make art, repeat. I'm so excited actually to share with you my experimental style that I thought of the other day. I'm so excited to share that. I think it's going to look sick as well. Like what I've got in my mind, I can't share it with you now obviously because you'll steal it. I know what you like. I know what you like, Sean. Okay. Anybody else would like me to check out their work? We'll do 1 or 2 more. 1 or 2 more. Experimental style is all F4. Yeah. Almost all F4 that last Spider-Man piece. I got to fix that. Thanks for the pixel art and isometrics video. Wouldn't have been able to start without those videos. I'm actually dying to make another tutorial. So this is a sneak peek for everyone who's in the stream right now or is watching the stream on YouTube. Pixel art tutorials. Who remembers those? Who remembers a little thing that looked like this? Does anyone know what I'm drawing? Lumber, that's right. Who remembers lumber? I've had an idea, and I've been dying to make this. However, I recognize that this is probably procrastination from finishing Faceplant. It's your little dwarf character, it is. And a long time ago, I made a video. Gotta love doing the line work, you drag your hand. Yeah, I know, it sucks. The end of the tower video? Yes, exactly. A long time ago, I made a video where it said if we get a certain amount of likes, we'll go and get that dragon. And I finally have an idea for how to complete that series. And basically, the idea is to release more tutorials. Okay? More tutorials, which would be a set series. From here to this video, to this video, to this video, to the end. And every week, or not week probably, but every video would lead towards the end of the lumber story. And they'd be simple videos. They wouldn't be like an ultimate pixel art type tutorial. It wouldn't be like everything in one video. It would be hyper focused on one thing. That way I could produce it faster and it would get us to the end. Will get us to the end. And I've really been wanting to make that. But I've also been thinking, if I make that, why don't I just work on Faceplant and finish Faceplant first? So yeah, that's been going on in my head. But I do have an idea to finish off the lumber story. Do not worry, the lumber story will be finished. But I should probably finish Faceplant first. Anyway, anyone want to anyone checking out your work? No? Yes? Yes, no? If not, let's just check out some more. How do you host checking out your work every Friday? Yes. Feedback Friday every Friday. 6 p.m. GMT time. Perhaps a good idea could be use the gradients for shading, texturing. Don't worry. Things are coming. Things are coming. Things are coming. We got ideas. You're going to submit an old one you think you did, but you lost it. No worries. If you find it, if you want any feedback anytime, let me know. If no one else, I do have a work in progress inspired by your tower video. Go for it. So if we've all finished things in the order we ought to, I'd never have started the baby blanket. I've nearly finished. Let's go. Add me to the wheel. SD, what's your work? Post it in. You're next. SD, you are next. You are next. Go. We'll do SD and then we'll do one more if someone pipes up. If not, that's it. We'll do SD, then we'll call it. Let's go, SD. You're the last one today. Share with me. 70th birthday cross-stitch sampler would end up being for 80th. I know that. So, like, I would do that all the time with everything. Like, I'm going to work on this. I know I should do this. I want to do this. I just love... No, you don't need a wheel, SD. Okay, I'll put you on the wheel. No problem. Who's it going to be? Oh my goodness, so close. It was SD0. Congratulations, you have been selected. Congratulations. We got to do one more, then I've got to go because I'm helping Kate out. This is it. This is the last one. Apologies, folks. It's SD. It's SD. SD. So post it on the Discord. We'll check it out. Then I got to bounce. I got to run. I've actually went 15 minutes over my time. So quickly now. Post it. You have 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Doing it now. Oh my god, you literally have 1 second. It's going to be the fastest feedback ever. I'm just going to say good or bad, and then it's going to the stream's going to end. Thank you for the stream. Thanks for hanging out, folks. We'll be back next week if you didn't get your work seen today. Next week, next Friday. Come on, SD, you're holding the lineup. We gotta go. It's gonna be the quickest feedback. I'm gonna say good or bad, and then the stream is gonna end. Who's ready? 1 in the chat if you think it's gonna be good. 2 in the chat if you think it's gonna be bad. Is my tree good or bad while you wait? Good. Excellent tree. Great silhouette. Lovely shapes. More reference, please. More reference for the bottom of the tree, for the shapes. But overall, cool style. The rock's very nice. Love the mossy details. There you go, Burning Ash. Oh my god, SD. We might just have to leave. Here it is. Oh my goodness. Boom. Great close-up of the eyes. I like the rock the most. Yeah, me too. It looks sick. I think you could do the same thing with the tree, like the level of detail you had there. If you keep that continuous, that would be sick. But yes, this is very nice. Good. That's it. It's off and you don't know why. Form. That's why. There you go. Good luck. We talked about this before with the other portrait, but it's the lighting. The lighting isn't helping the form, and because you have the hair going through here, you're kind of cutting off where the nose is, and the nose would probably help the form quite a lot. So what do I mean by that? Lighting. So I can, like, you're kind of zoomed in, right? It always helps to zoom out when you're looking at these things. Like, let's add some lighting to the hair here, which is going to help the form of the hair. Let's add, you got to be careful of, like, one of the eyes is obviously tilted upwards, like is here, the position of this eye, and this eye is positioned here. Not necessarily a bad thing, depends on the person's proportions and the angle that you're drawing them. But because you have so much light, and it helps to simplify your lighting, basically. Simplify your lighting into basic planes of the face, where you have like the brow, you know? You have the brow, the nose, the cheekbones, you know, the top of the lip, bottom of the lip. You can build a whole character with this. You can build a whole person without any idea of bottom of the cheek. Build a whole person without any idea really of anything else. And notice how you don't need anything else, you know? This is painting 101 basically. Painting 101 does this, top of the eyes basically. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you want to add crazy lighting to this, then you just do the same but for a different side of the face. So if you have the face, wee music again. Let's just light this side, for example. You just light this side. This side's all lit. Oh my god, this is so lit, bro. Actually lit AF. And then you've got one side left in shadow, or maybe you'll have like little bits of lighting. You know what I'm saying? But it's super important to show the form through basic shapes and then build that up. What it seems like you've done is you've added a huge amount of detail, but you've lost the form. That happens a lot. That happens a lot because you're not zooming out. It happens a lot because you're not zooming out and you're focusing too much on all of the detail, where you lose the form. You need to keep track of the form as you go. You know what I'm saying? Because it's difficult to tell like where the lighting's coming from. Like if I was to just add in some more highlights here and just really get rid of this highlight, like you don't need that. Let's just make it darker. Boom, 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 boom. Let's put this more in darkness, for example. Do this. Let's, again, practice what you preach. Let's zoom out a little bit so we can just build it up. Let's add more darkness. In fact, I'm going to make it darker than that. Gonna add this. Gonna keep that a little bit light because it's the cheekbone. But notice how it's starting to build up a bit more. You know what I mean? If you have the same colors going throughout, it ain't gonna work as much. And then you start to build up the form. That's the goal. It's the goal there. So focus on form. Focus on form, then detail. If you start with this flat circle, and then you go, okay, here's the light, here's a highlight, here is, I shouldn't have done that color, hold on, boom, boom, boom. If you go, okay, here's the highlight, here's a shadow, Here's a highlight. And then you zoom in. You know what I'm saying? Trying not to destroy that. Trying not to destroy the form that you've built. Then you start to focus on details. You know what I mean? Are you getting what I mean? Are you putting down what I'm saying here? Then you put the details in. Oh my God, let's take some of the light. Here. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? Focus on the form. Try not to destroy it. Because if you do detail, it becomes, you lose the form, basically. You picking up what I'm putting down. That's going to be it, folks. Hopefully that was helpful. Sorry that I had to rush that, but let's go. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. I'll catch you all next week if you're here. If not, no worries. Thanks for hanging out. It'll be first come, first served again, but if we don't have anyone, then we'll just go through the list. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it. Please do the free run too, please. Sorry, I got to bounce, Donny. I got to help someone. Goodbye, everybody. Catch you all later. Peace.